Hey, I'm Max Philippe from Puerto Rico, and this is my build from The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. This is the Central Sheikah Tower from the game. In the game, there's several towers like this, but this is specifically based on one of them that you see at the center of the game, which you can recognize because it is surrounded by the Guardian robots. In the game, these are robots which turn evil and try to kill you by shooting you. That's the character in the game. Yeah. And you have to climb to the top of the tower, and at the top you can scan this little device you have in the game to expand your world map.
Okay. So where did you start with kind of the planning for this build as the idea came together?
Well, the original idea was actually much different. I was building a completely different segment of the ruins, and the first thing I actually built was the first Guardian here, the complete one.
Very impressive. Now, take us through the way you did some of the kind of flooring and the groundwork here, because these couple different sections, there's so many pieces involved.
First I started just this segment here. I wanted to make everything elevated just so that I could have a part that was lower down. And this part, and the sand here it's just mostly 1x2 plates in tan, and I just built support for that, and it's a thing, but it's separated by every 16 plate just for transport. And this part is all cheese slopes and 1x1 tiles just laid in there carefully. Took a while, but it's a nice effect.
Yeah, that seems like a very labor-intensive process to lay all that in.
Yes, it was definitely one of the more tedious parts of the build.
And then down here, did you do the same with the tiles down here?
Well, this at first, I had thought of doing it the same way as I had done up here, but since I was transporting this, and I couldn't transport this up here, I had to start this since I got to the United States, and I did not have time to use the same technique down there.
And then, what about the robots here? Because those designs are really fantastic as well.
Well, I can open one of them up, somewhat. So, the idea for how I did him is I just tried to get 3 of those bricks that have studs on each side and offset them so I can just have a 12-sided thing. So I have all that 12 sides, and then these are just the coconut tree pieces here. And then this is just a 8-sided connector here. And this is just connected with a gear that's connected to one of those spinning plates.
Yeah, it comes together nicely. Is this the palm tree pieces?
Yes, it is. I got them in light gray here. Not sure why they are. I don't know why they are in light gray, but they are, and that's convenient.
Yeah, it works perfect for the legs. And then for the tower itself, which obviously is kind of the main attraction here, take us through that and the different elements that make up the tower.
Well, the first element I started with the tower is this mesh technique, which is obviously not strong enough to hold on its own, so I had to build a clear wall behind it. So it's actually all connected to the clear wall. This is the same technique repeated 10 times, but I switch it every time so it looks like it's repeated less than it actually is.
Okay. And then how about the rest of the kind of support structure in there that keeps it up?
Well, it's mostly being held up by the clear hexagon in the middle, and then there's also this little column in the middle, which is holding up the lights. And everything on top of that is mostly loose. This circle here is loose. This is a circle connected, but it's all loose on there. This is all loose. And I just stack things up. No connections.
It looks great. Is this part here, how did that come together? Because you got kind of upside down, sideways building.
Well, so this all started, I just made 3 segments, stuck them together, just laid it on there. So, same here, since a lot of the tower itself has a pattern which repeats itself 3 times going around. So it's supposed to be like a circle. I just made it 3 segments, connected to them each on the ends, and just try to fill this in with cheese slopes and other pieces, however I could, to make it look as seamless as I could with what I had. And this is the top of the tower. This is supposed to be the Sheikah eye pattern, which you see several times in this game. I tried doing that with cheese slopes there.
Yeah, and the whole thing comes together very nicely. So then what's setup like when you bring this to a show?
Well, this came together in many pieces. I tried getting all this on a piece of wood so I could take off most of it, but this was removed. I just threw him in a box. I didn't really mind if he broke because I had already rebuilt him several times since my cat broke it and then my dad broke it by accident. And then this all comes off into segments. All this is, I can just take this off, that. And those are loose panels there. Just everything comes off. The balconies come off. And then this, I would just take off these columns and the balconies so I could fold it into a triangle and then cover it with cardboard and then tape that shut so it's stable.
Well, that works fantastic, and the whole build comes together really nicely here. So have you had people coming by and like recognizing it from the game?
Yeah, a lot of people do recognize it from the game, and then I get a lot of people who only played the first Zelda games and are just confused on what this is.